The Elm Street Think Tank is an educational collaboration between inmates of the Franklin County House of Corrections and educators from Greenfield Community College. Recently, a member of that group, Keith, ran the Boston Marathon from inside, on a treadmill, and without the many advantages enjoyed by runners on the outside.
I didn't put as much into this as I should have, as most people do. I didn't train like most people do. I didn't have the time that most people have. I didn't have any of the running shoes. I had no running shoes. I ran in these long cotton polyester pants, cotton t-shirt. It was all there's all so much that went into making it harder than it probably is for a lot of other people. I started out with just a few miles, and I kept trying to run further and further, every time I ran, and eventually I got up to the half marathon point, 13.1 miles, and that's but up until this, that was the farthest I'd ever gone. So it was hard. I didn't have a lot of time to train between the time I decided on actually doing this and the time when it started. It was only like a 10-day period. I talked to a lot of the staff here, and there are several that are quite avid runners themselves, and some of them run 5Ks, 10Ks, half marathons, and marathons. One of the lieutenants that works here actually has run a few marathons, and so he gave me a lot of advice that helped a lot. Different things I could do and eat to kind of supplement for what people would use or do on out there, and so one of the things he was big on was making sure I had some type of sugar to eat throughout, because I barely burn a lot of sugar while running, and that's the one thing I can get relatively easy in here. Also, he stressed staying hydrated. Try to drink every mile, he said, but don't overhydrate. So that was also a big problem because I had a cup to drink out of, and you can't run and drink out of a cup. So also salt. He mentions I should have some type of salt. Don't eat a lot of it, but at some point during the running, just have a little bit I could just throw in my mouth. The treadmill is actually built with a safety mechanism in it that will shut off at an hour. Like I said, just assumes your heart rate's at a dangerously high level after running for so long, so it will shut off in you and you lose all your information, your time and your distance. And so to avoid this, I had to actually break the whole thing into 6 increments. I started with a first segment of 5.2 miles, and then a 5-mile segment, and then followed by 4 segments of 4 miles. And so that way I could stop these on my own. We could record the time, and I run the first 5.2, hit stop. A guy would write down my time for me, and I'd immediately hit restart and get back up to speed.
Races in general can be competitive struggles between contestants, but are also, for many everyday people, a way to challenge oneself. Keith explains the importance of this and offers a lesson to those younger than himself.
I don't have anything in my life that I feel I could look back on and be happy about that. I've never done anything significant, nothing great that allows me to think back on and smile and feel like, yeah, I did that, This is a goal that I can set that is, relatively huge, that I'm confident I can meet, So I knew it would feel great to accomplish that, and in the end, I was more than 100% right, It was awesome, when I finally hit that last 26.2 miles, that last little stretch. I sprinted the last quarter of a mile, and it was awesome. You can go as far as you can carry yourself, and you'd be surprised or amazed at how tough human will is, and how far you can get that to go. I know I can take a lot of what I put into that and use it to, work toward other goals I might set out there, because there are a lot of other things I want to do, write a novel, start a small business, and if I could just go into either of those endeavors with half the confidence I had going into this one, I'll be I'll be great.
The marathon is 26 miles and 385 yards. Keith ran the equivalent on a treadmill in 4 hours and 14 minutes. His next goal, and on the outside, is to run that distance in under 4 hours.